Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're embarking on a pretty fascinating journey. We're going to discover the United States exactly as a newcomer might see it for the very first time. I want you to imagine just stepping off a plane into a totally brand new landscape, your eyes wide open, ready to absorb literally everything around you. Because the U.S., well, it's a place of incredible scale, really deep cultural impact, and some honestly surprising realities. We're going to explore 10 of these remarkable realities today, looking at the whole shebang, from everyday daily life to massive geographical wonders, all completely through fresh eyes.
But before we even start packing our bags, I've got a quick opening question for you. Think about this for a second. What is the official language of the United States? If you had to guess right now, off the top of your head, what would you say? Just lock that answer in for a moment.
Okay, let's dive into this because the actual answer might completely shock you. The United States does not have an official language at the federal level. None. Zip. It's incredibly common to just assume it's English, right? And sure, while English is absolutely the most widely spoken language across the country, the federal government has literally never declared it as the official language. It's a totally unexpected reality for so many folks when they first arrive.
So, to help us figure out how a country even operates like this, here is our tour guide's itinerary for today. We'll start with arriving in America, then we'll look at living on a massive scale, followed by navigating the American way. After that, we're exploring America's global footprint, and finally, we'll wrap up by examining a nation of contrasts.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Arriving in America, Symbols of a New Land.
When you think of arriving in America, there is perhaps no greater visual symbol than the Statue of Liberty. It's this massive, towering emblem of freedom and democracy that has welcomed generations of new arrivals. But what a lot of people actually don't realize is that this iconic American symbol wasn't even built in America. Actually, the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France way back in 1886. And you know what? That international gift connects perfectly to the very foundation of the country. Think back to what we discussed a minute ago about there being no official language. Well, the reason for that is precisely because the nation was built by immigrants from all over the world. It's a country whose entire foundational identity is just deeply rooted in these diverse, global influences coming together.
Okay, let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds, living on a massive scale, geography and architecture.
I really want this massive scale to sink in for a second. Alaska is the largest state in the USA, but calling it large doesn't even quite do it justice. It is so mind-bogglingly massive that you could fit Texas, California, and Montana entirely inside of its borders, and you would still have space left over. No way, right? But it's true. It's this vast, expansive territory home to towering mountains, massive glaciers, and extreme cold weather. Now that is truly living on a massive scale.
And hey, that massive scale absolutely applies to the architecture too. Take the White House, for example. We usually just think of it as the president's office, right? But it's also a sprawling, massive home. The White House boasts an unbelievable 132 rooms. And it doesn't even stop there. It features 35 bathrooms and, get this, it even has its own movie theater. It is a prime example of American architectural scale.
Moving right along to Section 3, Navigating the American Way, Daily Life and Rules.
Let me ask you guys, have you ever lived somewhere where owning a car was basically a sheer lifeline? Well, in the USA, car ownership rates are among the highest in the entire world. And so many American cities, having a vehicle isn't just a luxury or a nice little convenience, it is an absolute necessity. Because public transport can be pretty limited in a lot of areas, trying to navigate daily life without your own set of wheels can be incredibly difficult. And this brilliantly illustrates another major adjustment for newcomers, which is the rule of law itself. You see, the USA is made up of 50 individual states, and here's the kicker. Each one operates with its own distinct laws and its own government. That means the everyday rules of daily life can drastically change just by stepping across an invisible line into a neighboring state. You aren't just navigating one single country's laws. You're essentially navigating 50. All right, let's zoom out for Section 4, America's global footprint, influence and reach. So the absolutely crucial point here is that this global footprint is incredibly heavy. The United States has the largest economy in the world. Its currency, the US dollar, completely dominates and plays a massive critical role in international trade. And it's not just the economics either, it's the culture. Hollywood produces movies that are watched in almost every corner of the globe, exerting a massive influence on global entertainment and how people see the world. And that massive footprint naturally attracts some incredible international minds.
Some of the absolute best universities in the world are located right here in the USA. Institutions like Harvard University and Stanford University, they draw students from all over the world who travel there specifically to study. It's like the country's global reach pulls the globe right back into American classrooms.
Finally, that brings us to Section 5, a nation of contrasts, the Great Debate.
Now, what's really interesting about the numbers we're looking at here is the sheer difference between them. When you compare the number of people living in the United States to the number of guns in the United States, the data shows us that there are actually more guns than people. This staggering statistic makes it one of the most unique and, frankly, one of the most heavily debated aspects of the country today.
Well, we have definitely covered a lot of ground today, from the fact that there's actually no official language to a single state big enough to swallow 3 others whole, right down to the fact that you're navigating 50 different state governments. With all of these endless cultural influences and just mind-boggling scale, I want to know, which of these remarkable realities surprised you the most as a newcomer exploring the USA? Let me know your thoughts and your own observations. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next explainer.